So today we got Mike Wang actually giving us some defensive info, specifically on steals. So we got a lot we got to dive into, of course. And we got the 2K community going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and you're going to be surprised to see what they come up with. So we got a nice video for y'all, of course. So without further ado, I need y'all to grab yourself that brew, and let's get to the info.
If you don't know, it's brutal sim on the scene, wicked and mean. With the next video, want this YouTube thing. We got 2K news and rumors. Don't forget the tutorials and tips. Turn your my player to a bad man and rule the sticks. No matter the mode, record or park, even my career brute will get you a good start. Hit the like button, don't forget the notifications. Comment down below and welcome to the Brute Squad Nation.
So you don't know. Your boy Brutal, sim on the scene, wicked and mean, with a next video for y'all. So by now, you know we gotta start the video off the right way. So if you're in the comment section and type first, second, third, know they get on Brute Squad, I gotta put y'all up there just to show y'all some love, man. Much love, much respect. So not a long video today, of course, but we gotta start it off the right way with Mike Wang responding to somebody who asked him, can someone please ask that Baluba, who is Mike Wang, by the way, what's the point in high steals this year other than interceptions if pluck animations are pretty much gone? Now, he responded and said that canned pluck steals are gone, but a high steal rating is still important for on-ball steals and blitzing. Now, the thing is, I think 2K really need to pay close attention to steals this year, because last year, in my opinion, they failed with steals. They failed in bouncing, they failed in animation, they failed in a lot of areas. When you think about it, 2K did mess up in a lot of areas in 2K25, but that's neither here nor there. We're not gonna really go too deep into that. But one of the things that really annoyed me was how they add that burst animation. I don't mind if you reward people based on positioning and timing. I'm talking about being able to time the bounce or the dribbling of the player. And then if you press it at the right time, there should be a nice little window where you will reward people based on their steal rating as well. In other words, there are a lot of factors that need to contribute to somebody executing a successful steal. Now, the thing is, most people treat steal like it's their main source of defense. I see people don't even worried about getting positioning, bumps, or none of that. People just run around spamming and just going in different directions with steals, and hopefully they get a bump somewhere and they would get the ball and think that's good defense. I think 2K need to enforce good defensive principle once again within the game. Now, that could just be a boy Brute and how I approach the game, because I take pride in position. I take pride in getting bumps. I take pride in getting steals the right way as well. But of course, I still understood in the last game, you could actually use some of the unrealistic animations and get some steals. I would use it sometimes, but I would not rely on these animations. And hopefully they actually get it down the right way this time. Now, again, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think about how steals were in NBA 2K25 versus how you think it should be in NBA 2K26. Put it in the comment section. Now, of course, a few people responded to this post. So AJ said, if you're a great defender or you make a lockdown and you have a 99 perimeter defense, 99 steal, and you play real defense, not spam square, and you time the dribbling at the right time, you should get the steal. And I do agree with that 110%. Keyword is if you're not spamming square, and of course time the dribbling at the right time. Again, as soon as the ball is about to release, if they time that right there, they should get a steal or be rewarded with a steal. So of course, you know, they put a new button in so you could protect the dribble, which I always use, to be honest with you. It's something I always use, but it hasn't been that effective over the past few years as it was in previous years. So they kind of brought that, you know, protect the ball from spamming back, which is good for us, right? Now, this next user said, yes, back to locks, playing 22 type of defense, straight bumps and blitz, take way more skill. I do somewhat agree with that, but the defense was kind of stifled with the speed boosting in 22, so I don't like people to use 22 as reference. Again, that just might be a boy Brute. Put it in the comment section. This next user chime in, rightfully so. He said, blitzing has never required a high steal. It's a non-steal animation where the side of the my player body hits the ball, meaning my player attribute has nothing to do with the animation. But I will have to say this though, the higher your steal rating, the better you could get, or the easier it is to get these bumps in these blitz animations. This is somebody who don't really put a lot of high steal in his build and usually play off of bumps and possession and get a lot of steal off of those. So I could agree with what you're saying, but when I get a build with higher steal, I do get way more steal based on my positioning and these bumps as well. Something about you having that rating does help you get more. I'm just putting this out there. This next user chimed in as well, said, what about reaching across the body and getting a bump steal? Please tell me that's gone. I would have to say this, although I'm pushing for them to get steals right, I still don't want 2K to go the extreme. So now it will allow people who don't understand how to really control the ball and protect the ball from the defensive player to go out there and dribble just mindlessly, right? You still have to understand positioning when it comes to dribbling, how to keep your body between the ball and the defender. You still got to understand that. You still have to understand if the defender is on the right side, you might want to put the ball on the left side, not necessarily dribble into him. You might lose the ball if you try to dribble in that direction. And I see a lot of people complain about losing the ball to people who steal the ball. But a lot of them is just not necessarily understanding how to control their turbo button, how to position their player, how to dribble the right way at the right time. And they just spam certain moves because it's on a script that they learn certain move. They went in the lab, right? And say, okay, I'm going to do this. And then they come out here and don't do it based on the situational. They don't understand situational dribble. You still need to punish those people. So there still need to be a balancing of that as well. You don't necessarily want to nerf steals, but you just want to make sure people do it the right way. And at the same time, holding both sides accountable. That will be a very challenging balancing act for 2K themselves, but it's their job. So I expect them to do their job. That's not me asking too much. Don't reward bad dribblers or people who just go off and spam moves mindlessly. At the same time, don't reward people that go out there and spam steal mindlessly. It's their job. They need to do it the right way. Let me know your thoughts. That's all we got on steal so far. Let me know your thoughts. Of course, I really think that 2K need to pull off that balancing act, man. They need to work on that. They haven't been able to find a good balance between having a good steal system and having a good dribbling system and how it collides, man. So hopefully they do a better job this year. Who knows? This might be the year. Put in the comment section if y'all think so or not. Now, Jumpman Germ, I told y'all the 2K community is going in the lab. They're going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. So they actually put out a list of a few new My Player build archetype names in NBA 2K26. Now, remember, there are over like 4,000 something, y'all. So this is just a very small sample size. Now, he posts an image, of course, on X, what we formerly known as Twitter. So here are the names. ISO Sniper. So they got Steve Nash there, Trae Young, and Steph Curry. That makes sense. ISO Savant. They got Nick Van Hexel, Trae Young again, Darius Garland. Okay, I could see that. Flamethrower, Allen Houston, Jalen Williams, Lou Hudson, Cash Out, Steph Curry, Jameer Nelson, Darius Garland. Makes sense again. Fluid 4, Chris Webber, Andre Kirilenko, Evan Mobley, the no-fly zone. We see Will Chamberlain there, Rudy Gobert, Mark Eaton, Big Glide. Now this one kind of doesn't make too much sense for me because they got Penny Hardaway. Luka kind of makes some sense because he doesn't move too fast, but he's very efficient. Penny was fast, yo. Penny was fast and LaMelo Ball is fast. So Big Glide, probably because they're taller point guards. That might be why. But I'm going for the taller point guard this year, so you might be seeing your boy Brute with that name specifically right there, right? And Launchpad, of course. We got Cam Whitmore, Jason Richardson, and of course Brandon Miller, which are the rim runners. You definitely ain't gonna see a boy with that name. But there are over 4,000 something names here. So let me know what y'all think about those names so far. Pretty creative for 2K. They coming up with crazy names right now. They went from 300 to 4,000. That's crazy work. But that's neither here nor there. Now this page, the Soul Lab made this post right here. It said free throws must not have mattered in NBA 2K26 to be concerned about cap rate. Because Kyrie, over the past 3 seasons, averaged 91% from the free throw line, and his free throw is a 76 on his template. That's a great observation, yo. That's a great observation. If he's not a 90, something is wrong, which means I could go out there and put 70 on my free throw and I should be shooting at a good clip. I'm just putting this out there, 2K. If you want to keep with that same energy, it gotta make sense, okay? You already put in pro play, say y'all making a move towards realism. Y'all might as well go all the way. Now, next thing that somebody highlighted, remember 2K yesterday responded to somebody who asked, are there any changes to how attributes tie into one another? They said yes. we've made optimization to ensure the builder is balanced. Some of the more notable changes are that your speed with ball potential cannot be higher than your speed potential, and raising your close shot potential will also raise your driving layup potential. So shout out to Big Heck. He clearly saw this and actually went into the lab and tested it out. He said after further inspection, speed versus speed with ball potential thing is a nothing burger and will have very little effect on builds above 5'11". In NBA 2K25, the only builds that had higher speed with ball than speed were under 6 feet. We all misinterpreted the information unless I'm misinterpreting the reinterpretations. And that's pretty much all I got for y'all, man. Again, I'm not going to the builder to figure it out now. I'll wait until the game drop and then we'll dissect the builder. Of course, I usually spend the first day in the builder and figure out builds, and me and the chat, and it's an event. We do it every single year, and we go through and dissect the builder to a T, from point guards, shooting guards, small forward, power forward, and centers, and create builds for all these positions, right, based on what you could do. But now with the added tools that 2K have, you could go by badges, you could even go and see all the animations while creating the builds. Now, among the information you will get right now, it's very difficult to actually mess up the builds. The curveball that 2K got this year is the cap breakers, y'all, because the cap varies based on your potential. So that is the curve that 2K got that will have us going back into the lab and creating crazy builds. So this will actually give us the ability to make our builds way more well-rounded. Like I prefer my builds. Like I prefer tall point guard builds or guard ability builds that could defend, dunk, shoot. Not necessarily have to be great at any one thing, but it have to be well-rounded. So I could now put that skill into putting it over the border, you know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. Let me know your thoughts on the info. Y'all know your boy gonna always keep y'all up to date on everything in the 2K community. Till next time, how blessed and be safe out there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Of course, the notification bell is free and key. Peace.